Nathan was a freshman at Crestwood University, and he was assigned to room 306 with Daniel, a quiet, rarely talkative roommate who seemed to live in his own world. Daniel spent most of his time sitting in the corner of his bed reading an old, black-covered book, never participating in campus activities and never eating or going out. For Nathan, it wasn't a big deal because Daniel never bothered him and the room was quiet enough for studying. But for some reason, Nathan often felt like he was being watched, even though there was no one there but Daniel. Until one night, Nathan woke up because he heard whispers from the window, and he saw Daniel standing still, talking softly, as if he was calming someone invisible. When called, Daniel just closed the window and walked back to his bed with a blank expression without answering a word. Nathan couldn't sleep after that because the atmosphere in the room felt very cold and strange. It felt like something was living with them. Nathan started asking friends if they knew Daniel Harper, but none of them had ever heard of him. Even when Nathan looked up Daniel on the college website, he came up empty. No photo, no class schedule, and no record of him ever being enrolled. Growing suspicious, he opened Daniel's drawer while the room was empty and found a notebook filled with strange symbols and spell-like writing. One of the last pages read, "Don't trust him when he talks." Since that night, strange things started happening. Nathan's laptop opened by itself, displaying the words, "You're not the first." His towel was wet on the floor even though he hadn't used it, and his belongings often moved without him realizing it. When Nathan asked Daniel about the incidents, he just stared blankly and replied, "You know too much." His eyes were blank, but there was a small smile on his lips, a smile that didn't feel human. Nathan's nights began to be filled with fear. One night, as Nathan was washing his face and looking in the mirror, he saw Daniel standing behind him, but his reflection was nowhere to be seen. He turned quickly. No one was there. But when he looked back at the mirror, Daniel was still there, his eyes red as if he had cried blood. A soft voice came to his ear. "Now you can see me, huh?" And that night, a woman's cry came from under his bed. Soft, like someone asking for help and not wanting to be left behind. When Nathan lifted the blanket to look down, a pale, thin hand suddenly grabbed his ankle and disappeared into thin air. He couldn't scream, he could only stay silent with his body shaking. The room no longer felt like a home, but more like a trap that was slowly swallowing him alive.